weekend all. Ira Epstein of Linn and Associates with your metal market wrap-up, your weekend edition for Friday. And we are now on the 12th of March, 2021. Getting ready for some craziness this week. We have the FOMC meeting. It's going to be very important. We're going to get an idea as to what Fed Chair Powell thinks about these rates, especially the longer terms that keep climbing up, mortgage rates. There's a tool that they have if they wanted to use it, and I don't know when and if they'll want to use it. It's called Operation Twist. They've used it before, and it's how they control the back end of the rate if they want to. The differential, obviously, between U.S. interest rates longer term and the Linn, say, example, substantially different now, and there's cause of concern for that. Will it give Europe an edge? Well, as it puts down their currency values and other things like that, it certainly is going to help them. But our economy is growing. You're going to see better things as these COVID vaccines get out there. We're leading, as I see it, the world in how we're getting this all done for a country our size. Israel certainly ahead of everybody with getting their people vaccinated in certain ways. And who's turned into the laggards? At the beginning, we thought Europe had a better handle on things. They can't seem to get their act together, and that's been hurting them. On the energy sector, OPEC has it right. It's that simple. They've been able to keep the market here. It so far hasn't come apart. The world economies are humming along. They're talking of getting better and better. They've got it right that the OPEC, the U.S. oil producers, the big boys, don't want to produce more. They've cut their CapEx, and they're returning money as dividends and paying down debt, which is not a bad business thing. It'll be the independents that come out in America in the Permian Basin. They're making about $32 a barrel, according to what I'm reading. But we're here about the gold market. And on a monthly chart, you're back to an area where the market's trying to look for its footing. This is it. The 1720 level, 1730, your 1729.80. You're no longer in an overbought condition. The market is still in a downtrend, but it's finding its footing. That's all you can say. Let's assume it doesn't. Well, the next stopping spot could be the 1500 to 1400 level. I'm not saying that it has to go there. I'm saying it's looking now 2 weeks in a row at trying to find its footing here. I'm saying that on the weekly area chart of closes, you've come down pretty far from that 18-week average. That's about the most you've done in recent time. You get so far away from it, and traders will tell you there's a standard deviation they look, and it means the market's gotten too far. On this break, you're probably in that point as well. When you take a look at the weekly bar chart, you can see how the market leaked away. The trend has been down all this time. When we take a look at where the market could be headed, the 100-week moving average of closes comes in at the 1650 level. Resistance is back at 1822. But to me, the important number here is the Bollinger Band. Markets on weekly charts and dailies are very sensitive to staying over these numbers very long. And because it's not a monthly chart that takes forever to get away from it, these are the ones traders look at. So for a longer term trader, I think the pros started coming out actually about $100 higher. Right back, to be specific with you, probably after you got down to the 1769 level, then you got down to what, 1673? So I'm not far off, about $100 lower. And that's where I think they did that. Now momentum is flattening out. It's not oversold. It's not embedded. Both numbers are under 20 this week. Both were under 20 last week, but not the week before. If I'm right, I think they're going to try not to embed this week, but you'd need a good size rally to get that done. I do think the pros would wait up here to get short that market, but I don't think they're scared of getting short. In the gold-silver ratio, the long-term charts, and this is on the weekly, it still favors silver. The daily charts don't. So you've got to look at the two different ways that you're looking at it. In the silver market, like gold, you finally fell back to that 18-week average, and the market is finding stability against it. I am not saying buy this market. It has been one of these markets that's been in a corrective stage. I have a hard time as a fundamentalist looking at world economies getting better and real realizing what silver plays a role in, be it all these electronics, solar panels, I can go on and on, it's on in everything, wanting to get overly bearish. But I think that it was ahead of itself at 30. Remember, that's when the Reddit people thought they could squeeze the market. It went back to the $25 level. It seems to be stable there, and it is not throwing out a sell signal. The copper market is in a consolidation. Probably the 436 level was too high, and it looks to me like the 387 level, well, I don't know, I'm not saying that's too low, but I am saying that if you took it out, you'd break the trend. You had been with an embedded reading this whole time, and then you lost it. Were you over the upper Bollinger Band? Yep, and then you lost it back, and that's where you're at. So now the market's working off an overbought condition. Trend up, overbought, resistance 420 right above the market. When we look at the platinum market, the trend is up, but again here, you had an embedded reading that you lost right there. Often that leads to price and the 18-week average making a run at each other. They made the run, but I don't think it's close enough. So I'm nervous that this could want to come down to that number yet. The trend is up. So if the pros are saying it's not going to get there, what they're going to look at is that number. How much is it jumping each week? Well, it's jumping about $16 right now. So 16 will take that market up to the 1104 area. 1110 was the last break low. I'll be looking to see this week on a pullback what that market does. Does it break through it, or is it able to just sort of kiss it and hang in there? In the dollar index, well, we're overbought. You hit the zone of the upper Bollinger Band, you backed away, the Euro's flip-flopped on it too. We have the FOMC meeting. What is the Fed going to say? Fed Chair Powell had to pay attention to his Wall Street conference meeting, and right afterwards, he didn't do the markets any favor. So now the question is he going to change his tone as we get to that FOMC meeting and the market has to figure out what to do? If you like these videos, do me a favor at least and click on YouTube. You like them or subscribe. You'll, number one, get them as I put them out. We worked all week on trying to get rendering of everything faster. We're still doing it so I get these things out to you quicker. I put out my subscriber videos Monday through Friday on daily charts and sometimes a mixture of weekly. And on the weekend, I do only weekend charts. So that's exactly how I do all this, trying to figure out what the markets are going to do for you on that. The weekend versions are about longer term trades. It's not the in and out that the daily charts give you. It's more tuned to the trader that is looking there at the bigger picture. Sometimes they got to take a bit more risk, but the analysis is pretty similar. I covered this all the way through, so you get the dailies in all these categories, you get the weeklies, you put it together and you try to come up with a game plan for yourself, because I want to be the sounding board. If you're looking at a chart and we know how lonely that gets, who do you call? Your friend next door? What do you think of this chart, Bob? Nah, you might want to go to this service because I keep it inexpensive, see what we've got. I'd love for you to trade with us on top of it. As I said, I'm working on my enhanced version of the charting course. It is far along. Run the brokerage company. I'm hoping this weekend to get a lot of it done. You have a great day. Take care.